And that's a nice lead and all, but that can change very quickly here from a very good Keene SwampBats lineup that has a lot of home runs in a very hitters-friendly ballpark. So Wade's going to look to get a couple more runs here off a guy who threw 22 pitches in the first inning of his appearance. 11 balls, 11 strikes, and he still somehow managed to strike out 3 batters and get out of the inning with no runs allowed.
So for Bachicha, a great first inning. Gets him out of a jam and also adds a nice little bonus prize to it with 3 strikeouts. But facing the top of the order, Bachicha's really going to need to drop down the pitch count. If he gets to around 50 pitches through about 2 innings pitched, that's a little bit of a problem for the SwampBats because they do not want Bachicha to go into 60 or 70 pitches. You do not want to become a second start for a relief pitcher on the SwampBats. For Bachicha, he knows how to start games. He pitched 4 2/3 innings against the Sanford Mainers, did not get a decision, but for the right-hander, he's going to be needed, especially going into the rest of the week, and the SwampBats taking on teams that are still vying for playoff spots in the Northern Division.
Well, better job there as he pumps in a fastball there to Joe Simone. First pitch strike from the outfielder from Rider University. That one's going to miss a little bit down. Well, Simone's been on base, and he scored once. He singled twice. Scored back in the 3rd inning after doubling, down the right field line. Advanced on 2 wild pitches and scored the Wave's 2nd run of the evening. As he's going to take that one low and outside there from Bachicha, who's now falling back behind in the count 2-1 after getting ahead.
And for Simone from Rider University, as you said, a local New Jersey school. You don't see a lot of Rider students. You see a couple of Rutgers, Newark, and Rutgers, New Brunswick for Ocean State. And especially with a Rider player with a wonderful batting average, as said before, of 340 on 94 at-bats, has been on fire all season. Yeah,
Joe's been really good, and he plays an excellent defensive center field, too. As that one's hit weakly down the left field line, a long run in, a diving attempt, as they're going to say that ball hit the ground. A great attempt there from Bedgood, but third base umpire was all over that ball. They're going to say he trapped it, and that's the 3rd hit of the night for Joe Simone.
And talk about a guy that works perfectly as a leadoff batter. A lot of times when you see leadoff batters, whether it's in minor league baseball, the NECBL, or professional baseball, usually you see them bat around maybe 260, 270, a consistent on-base percentage of around 30 to 40%. But for Simone, I mean, talk about a guy that is on fire in both the average and on-base percentage department. He's probably, I would say, around 40%, I'm sure, and with a 340 average, I mean, good grief. That is a dangerous #1 hitter, especially if you're going into the playoffs.
Well, they check on Simone there, no real tag thing. He's got a 415 on-base percentage, so 70 points, 75 points higher than his average. Joe Simone, and he's got a pretty good-sized lead there. Not going as the first pitch to Garrett Hodges, misses up and away. 2018 NECBL All-Star is 0 for 2 today. Did reach on a fielder's choice back in the first, also swiped the bag and struck out back in the 3rd, and having another All-Star type season right now as he came in today hitting .331. Couple home runs, 11 RBIs, and he picked up his 16th stolen base of the year. Has not made 1 error in the outfield as well. 2 errors. I was looking at the wrong stat line there. Simone leading. And I believe a balk was just called, as I don't think Bachicha ever came fully stopped there, so the pitch not going to count as the ball's fouled off by Hodges. On to second goes Joe Simone. He's now in scoring position with no one out.
And interesting enough, that is only the 2nd balk called against SwampBat pitchers. So a nice little tidbit for the SwampBats. Only 2 balks called. That's pretty good, but in any case, a balk is always embarrassing for any pitcher.
Yeah. As the 1-0 is going to actually get by Cadell there. I think that one goes as a pass ball. The other ones we'd seen before, most likely wild pitches. I think that one's going to be a pass ball, though.
So a pass ball on Cadell, and for Joe Simone, that is now 3 straight bases taken by the left-hander from Rider University on pass balls.
Yeah. Joe's going to be sending thank you letters here for all these free bases. Now all Hodges has to do is put a ball in play. The infield's back. Ball in play, scores a run here. As that one's going to miss low and away now, 3-0. We'll see if they give him the green light here. I think that Coach Key probably trusts his guy, Garrett, enough that if he wants him to swing 3-0, he's got to find his pitch, and he's going to take a hack at it. Hodges, the lefty from Kennesaw State. He's set. Bachicha's 3-0. That one's going to miss upstairs. Oh, excuse me, as that one catches the top of the zone. Maybe a little bit of a delayed call there from Brian Barry, as I thought Hodges was ready to toss the bat aside on a 4-pitch walk.
And it's one of those pitches where a lot of times umpires will delay it for a second and then call the strike. And sometimes I think it's more frustration at the batter, maybe overthinking it.
As Hodges chops that one foul. Look at Jack Ibsen, I just realized, coaching first base for whatever reason, Ibsen a reliever. Very good reliever from Brian. I don't know why he's coaching first base. I guess he's just having a little fun down there. The count now full on Garrett Hodges, 3-2.
And for the Ocean State coaching staff, maybe they just want a day off.
I mean, it's a hot day. I don't blame you. And I think Ibsen's having some fun out there. As the payoff, Hodges spoils that one. Straight back to the screen. Had a good rip at that one. Just couldn't square it up. Well, that's interesting. We'll see if, I guess Ibsen, he didn't pitch yesterday. I'd have to say he's active today. So probably around the 6th, 7th inning, you're going to see a change in the first base coach, as we might send someone out there who isn't going to be possibly coming into the game. As there's ball 4. Hodges takes a fastball up at the letters there, and he's going to trot down to first base. Xavier Vargas going to have 2 on the corners with no one out.
And for Hodges, batting in the DH spot, does not have a hit on the day, but you have to give the number 2 batter some credit. On 3 at-bats, he's got on base twice, so been putting stressful situations for SwampBat pitchers, and now Michael Bachicha with Simone on third and Hodges on first. He has arguably one of the most dangerous batters in the lineup, Xavier Vargas, batting in the 3 spot, as that'll bring out Sean McKenna, the associate head coach for the SwampBats. When McKenna comes out, there's no movement in the bullpen, so for McKenna, just more of a pep talk, help Bachicha fix up his rhythm, hopefully for Bachicha, does not allow a run scored in this 5th inning. But for Ocean State, if they're able to score 1, if possibly 2 more runs, make it a 4-0 ball game, you've officially put in a situation where Keene is having trouble at the bats and now is down by a substantial amount of runs.
Yeah, they need to cash in here, especially 1st and 3rd, no outs. If you can't get both of these guys around, a guy with good speed at first base, and Joe Simone also runs extremely well. A ball in play is going to score Joe, but the biggest thing is getting Garrett around, because just continuing to pile on that lead is my motto when I used to play was win every inning. So, doesn't matter if you win the inning 1-0 or if you win the inning 9-8. If you win every inning, you're not going to lose the game. So if you're the Waves here, you just have to keep adding on and keep winning every inning, because Nick Robinson's throwing a gem for you right now, and you just got to back him up as much as you can. So we'll see what Vargas can do for his teammate at URI as he steps in. Like I said, runners on the corners, no one out. 2-0 here in the top half of the 5th inning. From Alumni Field, the Waves made the trip up for the first time. You guys coming, I believe in like 2 weeks, you guys come down to Old Mountain Field right at the end of the season, July 26th, I want to say.
In fact, it is actually the 2nd to last game for the SwampBats. They will be playing in Newport, then they play at North Adams, and then they're going back to Rhode Island for the game against Ocean State. So for the SwampBats, some horrible traveling in the final week of the season.
As that ball's popped up in foul territory, a long run over for Bell. I believe he ran out of room there. I think he might have caught it, but out of play. As it's tough to see. We kind of lose that sight down the left field line, but what it looked like is the ball made it out of play. I'm guessing Bell did catch the ball, but just did not count because it was in the out of play territory.
Also, something I've been actually looking to ask you, Andrew. For the Ocean State Waves, interesting enough, a lot of players from the local Rhode Island area, a lot of them go to the University of Rhode Island. Is that a preference for the GM of the team to go get local players?
Well, as a alumni of University of Rhode Island, Eric Hirschby-Bodner, who's actually our 3rd base coach as well, is Vargas grounds that one slowly to second base. Going to be a tough play here. The only play is going to be at first, as that does score a run. A fielder's choice there. Xavier Vargas put away the 4-3, but moving to second, Hodges, and the Waves take a 3-0 lead. But yeah, so our 3rd base coach, GM, and assistant coach, Eric Hirschby-Bodner, a URI alum. I don't know if it's, we're just trying to keep it's nice to have those local guys. It is, but I think it's just trying to pull from talent. All the guys we have from URI are playing very well. Like we were saying, Jake Walker's been very good out of the pen. Cristino hasn't had a great start to the season, but he has also been hurt for most of the year. As the pitch is going to miss a little bit down to Elijah Dunham. We've seen Robinson on the mound just absolutely dicing everyone up. And Xavier Vargas having a really good year at first base. Like I said, probably the best defensive first baseman in the league. Unbiased opinion, maybe. But he's been excellent. He's been good with the bat, too. As that ball's rocketed on one hop to second base. Wagner's going to go to first for the out. Moving to third on the play is Garrett Hodges. So Dunham a little unlucky there. Squared that one up. Just a shot, a one hop there. Wagner caught it deep on the forehand and went over to first for the 2nd out of the inning.
Also interesting enough, URI, mainly a basketball school known for most of the time its basketball team making it, usually demolishing the division that they rest in. Actually, ironically, they have my school's team, UMass.
Yep, A10, correct? Yeah.
Yep, the A10. And for the SwampBats, especially with a bunch of URI players, I'm sure a lot of them know who these guys are because a lot of them do play in the Northeast.
Well, here's another URI guy I was talking about, John Cristino stepping in as the first pitch. A breaking ball is going to catch inside corner. Cristino having some words there for Brian Barry as he he probably knows the zone as well as anyone on this field as he's behind the plate tonight. Definitely not a fan of the breaking ball that caught the inside corner, according to Brian Barry.
And you know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction. John Cristino is going to have a warning thrown to him by the home plate umpire at some point just because he's behind the dish, and with all the calls being called against him, may get a little bit more chirpy because he's the one catching the ball on the opposing side.
Well, Cristino's not one to shy away from any conflict. I don't know if you saw what ended up happening a couple weeks ago when we were playing Danbury. He ended up getting trucked at the plate, and he got right in the guy's face. A lot of things going around, so he's not one to shy away from any conflict. As he fouls that one off, so the count's going to hold it 0-2. It was an elevated fastball there that he chased from Pachicha. So we'll see. I don't think that's a miscalculated prediction by any means. That's definitely a possibility.
Interesting enough, also, I'm guessing he switched numbers throughout the season because Cristino's listed as number 4.
He's wearing 27. Our GM texted me a little while ago. I don't know exactly why. I don't know if he forgot his jersey. Is that breaking ball's going to miss upstairs there? I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, he's wearing 27 tonight. Maybe it just fits him better. I got to find exactly why he's doing that, but maybe just trying to change up the mojo a little bit. 4 wasn't treating him too well, with the 180 or the 143 average coming into today. So trying to change up the mojo a little bit. As Pachicha is set from the stretch, his 1-2. And that one misses inside. I thought he broke off another good front door breaking ball there. That one just a little bit inside, so the count now even at 2.
And with a 2-2 count, Deuces Wild in the top of the 5th. A man on third for the Ocean State Waves. They are one swing away from possibly making it a 4-0 ball game in favor of the Rhode Island team.
The 2-2. That one's going to miss inside as Cristino leans back out of the way. So the count runs full 3-2 here. Cristino looking for his 3rd RBI of the season. And that, as you were just saying, Justin, sits 90 feet away in the form of Garrett Hodges. Cristino waving the bat. Pachicha, his set, his 3-2. That one's popped into right field. Bednar has a read. He's going to take a couple steps to his left and settles under that one in medium right field for the 3rd out of the inning. The Waves score 1. Joey Simone comes around after leading off on a single. Garrett Hodges stranded at 3rd. The Waves take the 3-0 lead. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Keene SwampBats baseball on FM 102.3 AM 1220 Fox Sports Keene. It's going to be a new pitcher for the Waves. Nick Robinson's going to exit a little bit earlier than I thought he might. Maybe it's just a pitch count thing. It's not like he was in any trouble, but Jake Walker's going to come in relief of his URI teammate Nick Robinson. The line's closed on him. 4 fantastic innings, only 2 hits given up, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's going to hand it off to the 6'4 lefty from Milton, Massachusetts, and like I was saying, the University of Rhode Island. So far in the year, Walker has played in 9 games, started 1 of them, 2-1 record, a 3.17 ERA, 17 innings, 18 strikeouts, 11 walks, so not an ideal, strikeout to walk ratio or walks per inning ratio, and 15 hits. So that's not too bad. So we'll see if Walker, early in the year he had those problems with the walks. His first 5 outings he went 2 walks, 3 walks, 1, 3, 1. After that, his last 4, 0, 1, 0, 0. Strikeouts have been there kind of the whole year, so he's going to punch some guys out. He's got kind of an awkward, not awkward, but a little bit of a funky delivery coming from the left side, lanky guy. And he's going to look to put away a lot of these hitters that you were saying. Now I didn't actually look to see how many switch hitters you guys have in the lineup. I know you had mentioned it.
A total of 3. Only one of them is in the lineup tonight. Kevin Welsh is the switch hitter for the Keene SwampBats in the order, batting in the 1 spot. As of total, there's Tommy Joseph and Mitchell Golden, who are also switch hitters for the SwampBats. So interesting how it works. Mitchell Golden, a returner for the SwampBats, came back specifically because of his fantastic 327 average against opponents last year in the NECBL. Made the All-Star game and was a force in the All-Star game too. I believe he was 2 for 4. So for Mitch Golden, has made some spot starts for the SwampBats from a player that's coming off a torn labrum, and as a college baseball player, Andrew, I'm sure torn labrum is one of those funky kind of injuries where you never know what's going to happen when you come back from it.
That's just not you hear that word as a pitcher, especially like myself, and it's just you don't want to hear those terms. That's something that you never want to come back from, never want to experience. That ball misses high there, so Logan Matthews staying in the game here. I wasn't sure how exactly it was going to work with now the new pitcher coming in. I didn't even see it. Is Matthew in the field now? That's the other thing I missed.
No, he will be put in as the DH for the SwampBats. I believe that's actually how the technicality term goes. Huh. If they really want to, they can switch him into first base, but David Matthews' day would be done.
Okay. See, that's what I wasn't sure. I didn't know we could put him in as the DH. Okay, so he's DHing now. He swings and misses at the 1-0. There's the count now, even at 1 to Matthew. Went down swinging his first time. He chased a high fastball from Robinson. His pitch from Walker's going to miss down, so ahead in the count is Matthew 2-0, or 2-1.
Now, also talking about Walker with a 3.17 ERA, let's just say he goes through this order quickly in the bottom of the 5th. Would we expect to see him go into the 6th, 7th, and possibly 8th?
I don't think he's going to get stretched out too much here. The Waves got some guys in the bullpen as he breaks off a good off-speed pitch there. He hasn't thrown more than 3 innings all year. He threw 3 innings back on June 17th against Danbury. Other than that, it's been kind of 2 innings, 1 1/3, 1 2/3. So I don't expect him to go maybe more than 2 innings or so. They're going to probably get some other guys, some arms. Like we only threw 2 guys in relief last night as that ball's lined down the first baseline, foul. Matthew ahead of a breaking ball there from Walker. So gonna expect it's gonna be some work days, for some guys. I'll probably see. I think it's Monty Horn will be in there. Seamus Brazil, I know you were talking about him. He has the best ERA in the team so far in 5 appearances. I think Shrek's gonna get out there for an inning. He's 6'9", so we all call him Shrek.
Does he sound like Michael Myers?
Not that I heard, but I haven't heard him say donkey get out my swamp, so I don't know for sure. As the count's now full as Matthew spits on a breaking ball there.
Well, for your media relations intern, you better have him just once. Do a video of him say that and just see what happens. And if it sounds like Mike Myers, well, you know what? He's just officially Shrek.
That's actually my job, so that's a very good idea. Here's the payoff. The ball smoked into right field, and on the run is Nick Ellison. Makes a nice play. Tracking down that line drive from Logan Matthews. It was almost like a heat-seeking missile going right to the back of his glove as Elson gets the first out of the inning.
And for Matthew, that's one of those plays where if you're Logan Matthew, a very humble player, just tip your helmet to the right fielder. That's one of those plays where he thought he had a base hit. If that went past the glove of the right fielder, that was Nick Elson, that would have been possibly a double for the left-hander and probably would have put him in scoring position. But for Elson, robs him of a hit, and for pitcher Jake Walker, that's a great sigh of relief.
Yeah, absolutely. That ball was hit very well. You just thank God that your right fielder out there has got some range as the pitch misses down to David Matthews. And I'm surprised that Elson's playing as far off the line in right field as he is, especially with the way this field is, where the fence pretty much goes like straight across, I'd say. There's not much of a curve in the fence, as it's 354 down the line as the pitch misses up there to Matthews, so 2-0. He's playing pretty straight away and right, almost shaded toward right center. He was able, I think, if he's straight away a little bit more toward the line, he doesn't make that catch. But I guess that's all on the positioning and the scouting there, as Elson was in the right spot at the right time.
It's just a lot of times for outfielders, especially with line drives, it's just about taking the right arc off the ball. If you can get around it, usually it's around a 30 to 35 degree angle, get a good placement of where the ball is. Whether you're jumping in the air to get the ball or usually bending over, sometimes it's all about just that perfect placement of where your glove is.
As we see Walker fall behind here, his 3-0 is swinging there, chopped down the line. Xavier Vargas, an easy play there. We saw David Matthews get the green light on 3-0. He got his pitch, and he rolled it over to first base. Not what you want to see out of your 7-hitter right there, you're just looking for guys on base at this point.
And for Matthews, that's one of those at-bats where I think he gets a little bit, probably very frustrated at himself, because it was a 3-0 count, a fastball from the left-hander, lefty-on-lefty matchup. Matthew, the bat was just a little bit too early, hit off the end of the bat, rolled over into Xavier Vargas's glove at first, and for an NECBL All-Star worthy first baseman, just was going to make the play regardless, especially in fair territory.
As the pitch to Seth Cadell misses down, yeah, the ball's not getting by Xavier Vargas if you give him 100 of those, but I just think if you're David Matthews there, you can't be swinging when you need base runners here. You're down 3 in the bottom of the 5th. I know it's not panic mode yet in the game. It's not like it's the last inning, you're down 9, but you need base runners here. You got to try to get this lead, erased or at least chipped as quickly as you can. As count out 2-0 on the catcher, Cadell.
And for Matthews, it's one of those things where it's a good learning experience. If he had made good contact with it, especially in a 3-0 count, he usually wants him to be lined into right field, almost a guaranteed base hit at that point. But for a left-hander, he goes down off of 4 total pitches, and it was up a 3-0 count at one point.
Well, if I have to tell you, as the count's now 3-0, I don't think Cadell's swinging at this one. I think he's going to learn, and he'll most likely take this pitch from Walker, who's, the last 6 of his last 7 pitches have been balls, and, Matthews helped him by rolling over instead of making him throw a couple more. So we'll see what the decision is here with Andrew McNeil waiting on deck. Cadell 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to third his first time up. And he squares the bunt. He's going to pull that one back, and it misses. Cristino thought he got the frame there, and he's got a couple more words there for Brian Barry. As down to first goes Seth Cadell. Well, that'll bring up the 9-hitter McNeil, so I think I might have cut you off there, Justin.
No worries. But actually, interesting enough, the Keene order with Seth Cadell walking, and this one hurts. This is the first batter that has got on base, whether by base hit or hit by pitch or walk, in the past 8 batters. So
yes.
Nick Robinson mowed down the order, and now the SwampBats with Seth Cadell on first, Andrew McNeil in the box will look to start some sort of rally and possibly cut their deficit, if not possibly tie the ball game.
Well, McNeil was the last guy to get on base. Robinson clipped him with a fastball on the inside. He took the hit by pitch as Walker snaps off a good breaking ball there. That lefty-on-lefty breaking ball from Jake Walker, just so tough. We saw Matthew have a little bit of problems with it. It's just, there's not much you can do the way he's kind of throwing. Just that lefty-lefty, the lanky guy, the tall guy, coming from kind of that, the high 3/4, just breaking off a good curveball that starts at your head and ends up, front door at the knees. As he throws a fastball there, it's going to be up the middle for a base hit. Good job there from McNeil to stay on the fastball. As advancing to second base is Cadell, first and second for the leadoff hitter, Kevin Welsh, who is going to turn around and hit from the right side of the plate for this at-bat. So we'll see if that messes with him at all, as he took the first 2 at-bats lefty against Nick Robinson. Now facing the lefty Jake Walker, he'll flip around and get that advantage, the righty-on-lefty matchup now.
So the SwampBats now a man in scoring position. Seth Cadell on second, Andrew McNeil with a single. That is the first hit since the first inning for the SwampBats. So just goes to show you how dangerous Nick Robinson was against the SwampBat order, and Kevin Welsh looking to get the first run aboard for the SwampBats.
As Walker delivers a breaking ball in the dirt, Cristino not able to keep that one in front. Both runners are going to advance on what I think will be a wild pitch there from Jake Walker, despite the breaking ball in the dirt. Oh, when Walker's curveball is on, it's nasty. When it's off, it leads to free bases. And unfortunately for him, he just put 2 runners in scoring position now for the leadoff hitter, who's hitting 350. 380, excuse me. My bad, I didn't mean to cut off 30 points there from Kevin Welsh's average. He's 1 for 2 on the day, singled back in the first inning, the first pitch of the game, rifled it into right field for a base hit, also flew out to center field his last time up. As Walker hits the outside corner with a fastball there, so the count now 1-1 on the Rutgers University shortstop from Columbus, New Jersey.
Interesting enough, I've said this a couple of times, and I say it because you're just a broadcaster I haven't dealt with yet as of today's game. He actually played against me in high school and batted .467 his senior year.
As that one skied into center field, Joe Simone a couple steps in, and he'll catch that one in medium deep center field for the 3rd out of the inning. I'll let you finish that story when we come back. It's going to be the top of the 6th here. The Waves lead 3-0 over the Keene SwampBats. You're listening to SwampBats Baseball on FM 102.3 AM 1220, Fox Sports Keene.